Hey guys, thank you so much for stopping by this morning. It's a beautiful day out today. The sun's coming out and I wanted to share this awesome tree with you. Hear all them birds? That's where you hear all those birds in the morning. And this is my backyard, so we're gonna go and walk around today, take a little tour. My allergies are going crazy because everything is blooming. This is the back side of my house, and unfortunately I have a huge yard, but I can't utilize it because we rent here and I can't be digging up the lawn, you know. There's mostly sand in here anyways, and we have really uneven ground because of the fact that, you know, there was so much uneven ground in here and they just piled sand in. So it all settled, you can see that. We're gonna start over here, which is my side where my shed is. This is my little garage shed thing. This is a little yucca tree that was here when we first moved in, so I just go ahead and take care of her. It's my compost bin right here with my watering jugs. These are my rain buckets. So I leave the lid on, but not screwed down all the way, so all of them chemicals and stuff can escape. See that water? Look how clean that is. We're gonna use that for the garden. That's pure rainwater. So usually there's no chemical in rainwater. That one's rainwater and this one's hose water. So we let hose water sit out here. And look at that. See that? Because the lid was really off of there. So we're gonna have to dump that. Now when I have frogs and stuff in my water, I don't really use it. I mean, this stuff I'll probably pour out like on my plants out here and stuff like that, but I won't use stuff like that inside because, you know, you just don't know what kind of germs and stuff is in that bucket now. But this is my basil we've been seeding out. We've been getting a lot of seed off of it. You can see it's still wanting to seed. This is just kind of my like seeding area, compost area, watering area. You can see not much going on here on the side of the shed. And that's where my garden starts up there. You can see I picked all that wood out of the trash. So that big panel was trash. Those wood pieces were trash. And this trellis, which I use for my tomatoes, was trash. And look at that. We got them all from the trash can. That's awesome. And then this is just my hose that I use. You can see it's all the way spread out. That's my backyard, which I have some plants back here. This is coleus we were growing over the entire summer. That's actually still seeding out. So look at it. It came back. I got radish still growing back there that got infested with a disease last season. And it's starting to get green. It's all green. It doesn't even look yellow. So I'm going to get in here and kind of clean this area out. You can see we have our buckets all falling down and stuff. It was raining and windy. So we got to get in here and clean. But I'm just solely seeding that out because I'm collecting the seeds from it. Just like my basil here. You know, the plant's not that pretty, but it's not by my garden anyway. And it's not being seen by anybody but me. So we're going to go ahead and seed that out. These are just some walking iris plants and some pineapple we transplanted. This we rooted from the top of a pineapple we bought from the store. So this wasn't a plant I bought. This was like a pineapple we got from the store. And I rooted it and put it in the ground. So we'll see how it does. I don't know what's going to happen. That's coleus that seeded itself from that big tub of coleus we had over here during the summer. You can see we're starting to get little seedlings popping out. So why waste them? We're going to utilize them, especially seeing what kind of plants they are. The pink ones. We're going to utilize the pink ones to grow in our garden. And this is where my garden starts, you guys. You can see I got my bag of soil out, getting my totes ready. We're going to do a video on that. So I can show you guys how I get my containers ready for gardening. And this is my back garden. It's not very big. I know I have all that space I don't use, but this is all I use right here. And it makes it a lot easier when you crunch your plants all together too. This is carrots we're growing. I just planted green beans in here, so I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're 6 inches apart, always. Then this we're going to get ready. We're going to till it up and put some more soil in there. We'll do a video on that for you. I think that's a cantaloupe or eggplant. I'm not sure. Carrots, you can see I bunched all up. We got short and sweets, Denver half-longs, scarlet nates, and the purple kind. And I just want to take you over here real quick because I want to show you. This is the back of my house here, okay? So these are the trellises I got from the trash can. This I got from the trash can too. This planter right here, trash. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just dirty. Somebody didn't use it. There was a ton of soil in here and a ton of debris with weeds. But guess what? I dumped it out. And I took the bucket. I dumped it out on my lawn because you don't want to leave that mess on their house, guys. So make sure you're courteous when you take people's trash. And this is some coleus we're just seeding out. It's been growing all winter, so we're just solely seeding it. You can see all them seeds on there. So all I do is wait till they dry out, get nice and brown, cut the stalks. So I cut them in like 3s, and then I put them in a dish, let them dry, and we cut and dry some coleus, which is awesome because we're gonna see what type of coleus we have. So whatever coleus it is, this is a variegated pack I had. You can see the leaves are much different. And these were damaged from winter. So you can just go ahead, pop those off, and they'll grow new growth, you guys. They are hardy plants. They will come back. I'm surprised they didn't die off totally here in Florida, but that's how mild our winters are. So we're gonna seed these. Now, whatever plant you have that you want, you gotta take the seeds from. See, this is different. It has like pink on it. I love this one. This is like pink with yellow and green. So we're gonna take those seeds to get this type of plant. If we took these seeds, we'd only get this type of plant. See that? We wouldn't get that one. So you wanna make sure you're taking the seeds off of the type of plant you want. And we're not gonna save the green coleus. I have some green coleus, but we're not gonna save that. This is some basil that looks terrible, but guess what? We're still seeding out. So I just cut a lot of basil stalks off of it, and we're getting more. There's another one down there. Still collecting my basil, so I'm gonna have to prune that really soon. And we have some more coleus seeding out by itself. This planted itself, so we're gonna leave it. And then that's my window, which I planted some coleus on, you can see, and I planted marigolds in front of, but they didn't sprout yet. One sprouted in the middle of my lawn, but none sprouted over there. And then we'll just kind of take you around, show you the garden. So we'll start walking. Now this is the end of my garden. So I usually start all the way in the front by my tomatoes. We're just going to go around. Since you guys have seen a lot of this up close, we're just going to go over some tips. Last night, we treated with neem oil, regular neem oil. We sprayed the foliage. Since we treated a few days ago with the worm and caterpillar stuff on the foliage, I treated with regular neem oil last night and put the worm and caterpillar stuff all around my garden. So I boxed it out, like probably out to here. I didn't treat more than that because then you're wasting your BT worm and caterpillar stuff. So I only made like a square around my plants. You can see I'm rearranging a lot, and I treated all in here. Spray all your grass, everything on the sides, because these little worms and stuff will creep up on your containers. So like these are my carrots, right? But they can still get up here. They can still climb up and get up on your carrots because it's still on the ground. See, even though we have them in containers, they can still creep up in here. So we got to make sure all around this is treated as well to make sure they don't come back. And we have peppers here that are still blooming. So this is coleus that seeded itself. It was popping up from that big coleus plant we had. And this pepper has been growing since the end of the summer, or over the summer. I forget. I think I planted it in like June, July. So this has been growing since then. And we're going to grow it into another season. Because look, I was going to take her down. She got infested with a fungal disease. I defoliated her like all the way. Took off all this bad foliage and stuff that you see. Like any yucky stuff I took off. And we left all the good stuff. So we're getting buds everywhere. See this? We're getting blooms everywhere. Each leaf node. Look, even there. So I'm going to leave her to bloom out. Why not? We got a beautiful pepper on there growing, and why cut her if she's going to want to continue to grow? We're seeding some lettuce right there. You can see it's sprouting. Raspberry, doing good. She's acclimating out here. So when you buy a new plant, you should put her off to the side, and she's acclimating right now. So we'll go over there really quick before we go ahead and continue with the garden. I treated her foliage and sprayed her foliage with the neem oil. Ow. Raspberries are pinchy because you can see aphid damage. That's aphid damage and fungus. So brown with the defined yellowing around it. Remember? It shows you guys that. So we're going to have to get in here, chop some foliage up that we killed off yesterday from the neem. Be really careful because these are pinchy. They got pinchies on them, see? But we're doing good. She's acclimating, she's getting really nice, and she's filling out. It's a nice raspberry bush he picked out for me, Mike. Today's his birthday. And then we'll just go on this way. This is my blackberry bush. You can see she's blooming, doing really well. She's really starting to come into her growing season now. See all her blooms and growth on her? Got to make sure we're feeding when it's time. You know, you might not have to feed a lot. So we treated all around the garden with the neem, BT worm and caterpillar spray, sprayed the foliage and everything. But you gotta watch your plants. You know, if your plants are lacking some nutrients, they'll tell you. These blooms are healthy. These raspberries, I keep calling them raspberry. These blackberries are healthy. Look at them blooms. So we're doing good. She's not telling me she needs anything. All I'm doing right now is feeding with a foliage spray with my Dyna-Gro once every 2 weeks or so, and then the Dyna-Gro Bloom in the soil once every 3 weeks or so to a month. And that's it. Some CalMag in between there. I'm going to do a video on the CalMag I use for you guys, just to show you the different nutrients I use at the different stages, because we need some calcium in the garden right now. These are doing really good. These are some sunflowers. My allergies are going nuts. You can see they're starting to bloom. So these probably wouldn't even have popped up out of the soil yet. Remember we pre-germinated these in my paper towel method? I love pre-germinating seeds like that because it really helps you get plants in the matter of no time. Let me go up for you. This is the side of my house. So from the backyard, that's the side, and that's the lanai I stay in. And I can see this whole garden right here from that lanai spot. I love where I sit, and I love to look at the garden. You can see these little caterpillars are tearing up my eggplant here. This is Black Beauty eggplant. So I've been treating really heavy around the totes and in the totes. We have new growth here. We're going to see if they stop feeding on this because they're really tearing her apart. My watermelon, Sugar Baby, small watermelons. She's doing beautifully. She's blooming and she's looking happy. So no nutrients at this point. Now anything that is blooming like this, we just put fresh soil in here. So I'm not going to give fresh soil, but anything that's blooming like this, and my peppers and stuff, these are some sunflowers we're growing, which are starting to bloom. You can see the green beans are starting to bloom in that tote with her and this stuff. So we're gonna need to give some nutrients at this stage and give some soil, fresh soil. You always want to put some fresh soil in the garden when you're blooming because it's really going to help your plants stay healthy. And they're, you know, by that time, since they're so big, they're probably sucking up a lot of the nutrients in the soil. So it really helps them, I noticed, to bloom and stay healthy. You can see this cottage garden tote right here, I planted with you guys. We just sowed all the seeds together and she's going nuts. I put a stick up to hold this plant up. Look at this one plant, you guys. Isn't she beautiful? I can see her from my lanai. I love the way these little flowers look. So pretty. And this is going to flower soon. These are all seeding. They're starting to go to flower. You can see. That little guy. And then I moved my totes back. So since I've been rearranging things, planting more, getting more in the garden ready, we've been rearranging our totes quite a bit. You can see I pulled them back because, you know, I have a fresh, clean slate of soil here now. Look. See where my broccoli is? We're going to plant this broccoli in the ground. I think I'm going to put it in the ground, or I might just put another container over here because this broccoli needs to be transplanted now. We sowed this probably a few months ago now together, and it's just ready to be repotted. See that? This broccoli is just drying out every day, and broccoli is not supposed to dry out at all. You can see the caterpillars are not getting to this at all so far. So we're doing good with that BT worm and caterpillar spray. I treated all around these totes too, because that's my kale, which we stopped them feeding on it. It's looking really good. And I fed all around my totes with the worm and caterpillar stuff, and we sprayed the foliage. Plus I sprayed yesterday with some neem oil. So this is my back garden. I'll step back a little bit so you can see. Everything's filling in so nicely for me, you guys. It's not much. We don't even use that grill anymore. But I can't wait till we move so I can set up the garden the way I want, and it can just be a lot bigger. You know, I don't have much to work with here. I don't have much tools, much room. Yeah, we do have space in the yard, but it's not my space, and I can't go digging up the lawn the way I want to. You know, it's my landlord's. These are doing really good. Succulents, snapdragons mixed in there. My parsley's doing really well. And that's why I moved this back to these totes, because they were kind of suffocating this stuff. So I'm going to clean all this weeds out over here. I sprayed all in here for worm and caterpillars so they didn't go creeping onto my garden. And I treated all around here too. So this is my side garden. Before we go ahead and walk, I want to show you the side. See? I'm working on it. It's a work in process, but that's the trailer. That's my lanai where I sit. And then this is my kind of work throwdown station where I put all my tools, my compost getting ready to go outside. You can see my eggshells and just some nasty potatoes up in here, some foliage, and some coffee grinds. Some pots, some plants we got to transplant out here. They're just acclimating, hardening off out here. If you ever hear that term, it just means acclimating your plants outside. That's what they call hardening off. We're seeding some coleus out here, and this is no good. So I treated in here with worm and caterpillar stuff because I noticed they were eating the weeds and getting up on my tomatoes. So we treated in here with worm and caterpillar. I never weed whack this area because it's always so full with my planters and stuff. So that's really bad because look what we have across the way. So that's my dirty station, right? My throwdown station, that's what I call it. And this is my bed right next door here, across the way. Well, that's a little pepper plant we just planted. And this is my other pepper, which look, we're getting chunks of foliage taken out. So the caterpillars are feeding. I noticed them the other day, and we do not want them getting to all these beautiful peppers we have. So I found tons of peppers on her the other day, you guys. I counted like maybe 10. You see that? We're getting so many peppers. We pruned her together, and we need to make sure these caterpillars aren't going to be creeping up on here because they will get into your fruit next. First they start on the foliage, and then they start bringing green worms and cutworms and any kind of worm you can imagine and bug they bring to that. And then they breed, lay eggs, and then, you know, you're going to have munched foliage, and you're going to have worms through your fruit in no time, and vegetables. So treating is so important, you guys, and coming out here, checking your garden, being with your plants, paying attention to how they grow, you know, paying attention to the way they grow during the whole cycle is just so important when you're just starting to learn. Now, if you're, you know, growing for a while like me, you know, you can get any plant and just use your basic knowledge and apply that to that new plant you're getting. You know, your sun, your water, your just get to know your plants, get to know how they grow. See this pepper? We're getting foliage damage already. So see, the caterpillars are going to start getting to her because she's small. She's starting to bud already, but we're doing good. So we treated, and that's going to help prevent them caterpillars from getting on here so much. We're going to create a little green bean bed over here where our carrots were. And this is just the rest of the garden. You just want to get to know your plants, guys. Get to know how they grow. It's going to take you a few years when you just start out to learn how to grow these plants and learn the anatomy, learn, you know, what type of nutrients they need at what stage, what type of pruning they're going to need. You know, different plants require different types of pruning. So it all depends on what you're growing. And I always say, know what you grow. That's some soil we topped off with, which I really, really love to do at the blooming stage. So see this fresh new slate of soil? This other stuff was really spent. See how sandy our soil is here in Florida? And I've put tons of soil in here already. Well, you can see the difference kind of from my garden bed to where I extended out my bed here during the beginning of the spring. Over the winter, I extended it out and I planted these tomatoes up. You can see how dull that soil is. So I put fresh raised bed mix down. That's what I use in my garden beds, the fresh raised garden bed mix. And it's from Harvest Organics brand. It's really good for the garden, and it just helps me. It's kind of like a mulchy soil, so it's really nice, it's organic, and it's really rich. You can see we got nice flowers, and just, you know, pay attention. So if you have a really good soil you're using, you really don't need much nutrients. You're going to have to shape at this point. You're going to have to just pay attention, make sure you're not getting fungus and stuff like that. See, our tomatoes are starting to ripen, which are doing good. We have another one I just seen in here somewhere. Little baby somewhere. And I found some more on this side. So we got 2 more over here, which are starting to grow and get big. So we got to make sure her foliage is healthy, spread out. You can see this is really congested up in here, so we're going to have to prune some stuff. You can see it's not open, so we need to prune some of that foliage in there, take a few leaves out, and open her up. And this is where we stop, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoy that you stop by and see me every day. We planted a new tomato right there with my basil up in the ground. And it's just really important to top your garden off with fresh soil at that flowering and blooming stage. Keep it clean, you can see all the weeds are gone out of here. My shovel's here. I've been working out in the garden like crazy. It's just so important to keep it clean and be out here. Enjoy your plants and only plant what you're looking to grow, what you're looking to utilize. You know, don't grow stuff you're not going to utilize or enjoy, because then you're just wasting it. You know, don't waste your produce. If you have extra, give it away. That's what we're all about here, helping people, giving to others, and just helping each other grow a garden and become successful in what we're doing and follow your dreams, follow your goals. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I really do appreciate all of you, and I really hope you enjoyed my garden in every way possible as much as I do. I know the video doesn't do it justice, but at least I get to show you guys what's here and what is possible right at your fingertips. Right at your fingertips, it's here. Thank you so much, guys, and I hope you have an amazing day. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this little tour, and I'll see you next time out in the garden. Bye-bye.